coming up from Ms. Jyoti Gupta. Before we get into the program, as customary, we have a ISHRE membership video which we run, which gives the a general view of what ISHRE membership gets to all the professionals in the HVAC fraternity. Request Girish to kindly play the video for the benefit of the members, please. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Ms. Jyoti, as you can share your PPT, I suppose all of you have taken a quick view of what ISHRE membership gets for all of you. Those who are not yet ISHRE members can have a quick thought about being the part of the members and benefit from the continuous dissemination of knowledge theme which ISHRE stands up for. Having said that, today we have with us our speaker, Ms. Jyoti Gupta. A brief about Jyoti Gupta. She's an architect, geospatial data scientist, and smart city young leader with about 14 plus years of work experience in infrastructure and construction industry. Completed her postgraduate in smart cities and urban analytics from University College London, Center for Advanced Spatial Analysis, UK. Uh, which has provided the platform to work on simulation models for cities and complexity. She was part of the international client and market development as sales intelligence analyst at Compass Group, London, UK. Jyoti has a wide scope of interaction with the Compass Group teams across the world, as she is the spoke first for all the CRM users in about 45 countries, where she assisted with the providing data for global CRM system. Prior to UCL, she has worked with L&T Construction, Synergy, NCBS, and Cognizant. She has handled project management in India for Tech Mahindra office in ITC building, Electronic City, Flipkart office at Cessna Business Park, Mercedes-Benz office in Embassy Crest, TCS office in Gopalan Tech Park, Whitefield and Business Business Park, and she had actually started her architectural career, in firm Locus Locus Architects and Planners. Handled routing algorithm, OpenStreetMap, smart buildings and smart cities, and did her internship in Beeline on prediction of shortest path for cycle users along with TFL data at Central London. I'm sure Jyoti brings a treasure of knowledge and expertise to this session. We are very sure that through the insights what Jyoti Gupta can bring to this session, all our members will be benefited at the end. And as I mentioned this, I hand over the session to Ms. Jyoti Gupta to take us through her topic, smart building automation technology and smart cities. Over to you, Ms. Jyoti.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vinod and the complete ISHRE team for considering my requests for speaking opportunity for digital automation, which is the most advanced and emerging theme in these days of technology. So am I audible? Can you all hear me? Am I clear?
Very much, madam.
Thank you, Girish. Okay, just to start ahead with, what is smart cities? Definitely, we all are very excited about it, and it is really an exciting opportunity for everyone around us. But just imagine, for example, you're driving a car and you're searching for a parking space around you. So, with the help of a smartphone, you will be able to identify a parking space in and around the mall where you would like to park, or in and around a place or your office where it will be sufficient. And additionally, you would pay your parking without worrying about the parking ticket. So this is how a smart technology can be used. I'm just giving an example. Definitely there are challenges around and how we are going to handle this kind of smart hot topic of smart cities. When we come to an IoT manufacturer who is interested in the concept of smart cities, what actually we are really looking for. So to come with to be a part of ISHRE, wherein we all know about refrigeration and air conditioning and heating is a main concept of all the engineers. So definitely it's a very important part for any project, whether it's related to a building or whether it's related to cities. So the main focus for a smart cities is smart lighting. How technology can help us with smart lighting, smart parking system, smart buildings, definitely. The major crush in Bangalore, traffic. So a smart traffic control system, healthcare system. I would say Singapore as one of the best examples for smart healthcare and how healthcare technology is being used in a more advanced way. Today, we will be talking about the IoT technologies. We will be talking about how AI and smart city plays a major role in building the technology for smart city. And finally, we conclude by seeing how we expect our 5 years for smart cities to take forward. So this is just an example what I just briefed you when you're looking for a parking space and you're trying to identify with your phone where actually a smart, where there is a empty space available and you could identify and park it in that space. So this technology is there in the Western countries, and how well we can incorporate in our country, that is the most questionable things that we are going to observe. So, as I said, automation is a key theme for an enterprise that we are looking for. And what are we really looking in our industry? Digital transformation, whether it's manufacturing, it's energy, transportation, you name them, it's like unstoppable. This advanced technology, that is the artificial intelligence, the cognitive learning behind it, and the machine to machine communications of how we transform our industrial environment. It's very important for us to realize how this capabilities is making our cities smarter. What we see in our country, smart city, is definitely not similar what we see it in Western countries. For an advantage, how we manage the asset and operation, that's more important. It's very important for you to understand the digital automation and also the connectivity of the Internet of Things that we have been observed. It should be from the maintenance to the public safety of what we are actually considering in the environment. In, in this slide, if you notice, we had tried to identify various kinds of living ecosystem, from the road safety to the saturation of how an automobile is finally achieved with an electric vehicles. That is what the priority is, and that is how people are proceeding with their kind of technologies. The vehicle connectivity of how we can upgrade ourselves, what is the navigation that can be able to help us, what is the final feature upgrade that we are achieving, how monetize or how green it is, how sustainable we are trying to achieve the final outcome, and end of the day, what is the quality, because that is what matters end of the day. Definitely, the path is not easy. There's a lot of challenges ahead, and how we handle this kind of challenges. Frankly speaking, to be a data scientist or to work on data solely, it requires a lot of issues, because as you have heard and read in papers, there's a lot of cyber cases around wherein privacy and security of data plays a major role. How you're going to secure your data, the inability to understand the data in order to see the design, the development, and deployment of the connectivity in your present scenario. How are we managing these kind of volumes of data, whether it is associated with the autonomous vehicles or whether how the functionality is being taken care. Finally, we come up with the implementation of large and wide variety of AI and machine learning. And this is definitely leading to an effective cloud strategy. So in my coming few slides, I will be taking you ahead. What is the enablement happening for IoT? What is the insight that we are achieving? And what is the awareness that we have considered? So the action of what is the ability that we have come up with? How are we trying to achieve this kind of the innovative automation? What is the insight? We are predicting the future. Definitely, it's not a 100% prediction, but at least we are using predictive analytics. If you're aware about what is predictive analysis, it is about the algorithm that we use with the help of the data science skills on the data in order to predict what's going to happen. So it is similar to what we do for a weather forecast, whether it's going to rain today or no. How would we do that with the data that's available already in the storage of yesterday? It was rain, it may rain or may not rain. So that is how a prediction usually works. But in our sophisticated environment, we need to understand how a predictive analysis plays a major role in this construction industry. The information that we all are aware, that is the physical environment and the processes that's been involved with an intelligent interconnected sensors around us. It can be a capacity of what can be a management, or it can have a defective rates. How are we trying to achieve this? This is by technology. And what are these technologies all about? It is all about automation. It is all about actuators. It is the RPA that we are using in all the industries that we all have just been incorporated, like the CCTV and the smart meters. How are we including that in our smart buildings environment? That is what the action attribute is. Now goes to the insight. With that data, we can do a couple of databases. That's the data management with what we have really achieved. With that, we go ahead analyzing the data in various perspective of what is the analytics, whether it's AI and machine learning, how it plays a major role. And what we come up with an edge computing platform. That's most of the BMS that you all are aware about, the networking between that and the sensor that plays a major role in technology. All this is integrated in an ERP system or a CRM database, what I have experienced in Compass, wherein I was working on Dynamics, and the data was all incorporated with a well securitized mode of Microsoft. So that is how cybersecurity also should have a major role in this IoT enabled technology. What we expect from the client end of the day, what is client expecting, because they are the one who are going to financially support us. With this action, whether it is client, what is the time of understanding this kind of technology, and whether there is any maintenance that's being considered in this kind of technology, how are we going to tackle this if there is a failure in it? So that is another major output of how we are going to understand the insight, whether we are trying to predict the failure and we are trying to address it within the relevant time allocated. What is the awareness that we are trying to understand? That is the location, whether it is the status of it's being delivered, or if there is any cracks, how can you replace it? So this is a normal action, insight, and awareness of any client side support that an engineer needs to commit and fulfill. So whether it's building automation or whether it's any kind of technologies, if not a technology also, this is the normal framework or a template that we need to follow. I further tried to investigate what kind of plot that we could understand with. I tried to create an horizontal histogram wherein I tried to analyze the most common IoT use cases. So whether it is a tracking and managing of the data, or it is the manufacturing process, whether it's an asset control, or finally the environment operation, how the graph is going ahead, where is the slope happening. So here if you see, it's a straight line that just comes down in an oblique manner. So that is how it works. How is the automatic response considered in this present environment? Are people really interested to invest this amount of money in technology in our industry? Is it worth spending that money? Are people ready to consider this as a future? Because in 2022 or beyond, what is the answer behind? So this is the normal statistic that I have collected from the data. And if you see, 28% has anticipated that we can have an automatic system in 2020 and also in 21. So this is how people are moving ahead. They are thinking of technology and how the automation plays a major role. Finally, I come up with these few findings on smart buildings. So smart buildings in today's world, what is it all about? Is it about the access control, the access side keys, the smart lighting, definitely what we're really looking for, the smart environment, what is the plans that we are going ahead with? It is the biometric system, the sanitizer robo who are around. So in Dubai airport, we have the sanitizer robo that's being used. So that is one of the example that we could consider in our smart buildings. Facility and energy team that doesn't really require the IT and cyber sec for about 20% of the organization, or whether it's about 6 to 10% of totally integrated IT structure, and how we're trying to collaborate with our facility management. That is also a very important part. So in today's smart buildings, these were the cases where people had opted for and what are the applications that we noticed. And with this plot, you understand there are about 60% of people who actually in India also go ahead with a card key access to the buildings. They feel that's more securitized, and they feel that is a better technology to be considered. A card key access within a building, the smart lighting, definitely smart lighting is a censored lighting, which not only saves the energy, but also the cost that's been incorporated, wherein lighting is just used without knowing that people are around or no. The temperature scanners, which is again a very important part, the biometric access, and finally the smart application. That's not that compared to the access building, it is only 20%. What we come up in today's human health, that's more important. Whether we are consuming the IoT or whether in a medical environment, how an IoT plays a major role. As I told you in my start of my slides, this technology is existing in Singapore hospitals, wherein they are using IoT technology like a patient room monitoring, a medical device tracking. They do virtual medical treatment for patient and doctor, and that is what IoT is playing a major role in a healthcare industry where we need to follow. I just have a small clip in wherein I would like you all to just see and you understand how smart city for future is being considered. The foundation of smart city is where we actually progress. So to come back to my slides, what are we really achieving? So in certain ways, a city resembles an industrial environment and it faces many challenges that's around us. It's very important for us to predict the mechanical problem for each municipal infrastructure in all kinds, whether it's a wastewater processing plants or a traffic management or a street lighting installation. So this all makes a better emergent support for a 5G smart city. So what are we really looking for? So if you see the first line, now because of the pandemic, you all must be aware how our healthcare was a major drastic condition. With the population that we have in our country and the count of beds available in the hospital, that was where we all lagged behind. How are we trying to make this city a country which a more automized and a better way of how a smart city can be incorporated? So this also plays a major role of adding it in a to-do list of how we can modify it and make a city more workable in a situation like pandemic. Smart traffic lights controlled by 5G could definitely be automatically controlled with the help of sorry, the system. Can you all see my screen?
No, madam. You need to share your PPT.
Oh, it stopped sharing, is it?
It was shared and you removed.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now we can see.
Better? Okay. All right. So finally coming up with this much discussion, what is a smart city? So smart city is something wherein we use technology and intelligence within the city to make a very smart function for the human being to interact and to make them more efficient, to make economic competitiveness, and finally to have a good quality of life. That's the reason at this age, or whether our future generation also is looking for a more advanced kind of smart city. What are we progressing with these kind of smart technologies? Whether it's only smart lighting, these are the initial things that we are concentrating. The cars V2X is nothing but vehicle to vehicle, that is the short form of V2X. The smart parking system, building, healthcare, traffic, and finally the waste management that we are looking for. I would like you all to please concentrate on this slide, which is really important. And also it is the latest report launched by the IoT Analytics. So if you see the top 10 smart cities that we are use cases that we all are, we not only India, but also the other countries are facing. So first is connected public transport, which is about 74% of shares in this kind of smart cities cases. Then the traffic monitoring. Definitely you all are aware, it's not only our country, even other countries are going through this crisis of traffic. The water level, flood monitoring. Trust me, when I was in London, every week or so, there used to be cautions that flood is going to come in weekend. So we were not able to go out. So that kind of monitoring or that kind of hints given to the public and how this kind of smart cases were incorporated, that is much appreciated. Video surveillance and analytics, this is also an important way of doing safety for we people, especially for women, I would say in our country. We require this kind of data. Connected street lights. It's not necessary that street lights are being connected only in a very public place like a Brigade Road or MG Road, but we also need street light in way roads wherein we could access our house in more safety and more energy and utilities wise. Weather monitoring, this is one of the most widely predictive analytics that's being used. The air quality, how we are trying to monitor the quality of the air. The good news with this pandemic is that the air quality has thoroughly shown a good progress, and also we could try to see various kind of vegetation and the wildlife coming back to the various countries. I think this is a very good part that's been seen in the air quality wise. The smart metering, I would say it's a very important part that we need to consider, not only for water but also for other various energies and utilities. Finally, the fire and smoke detection, and then there is lots to go ahead with. So this is how I tried to get this data from a survey that was organized with these kind of places, where they tried to analyze and responded. And the major cities that responded were the Cape Town, Singapore, Washington, London, and many more. So in today's thing, I have just filtered these 5 main points that we all should be aware, and how we are trying to handle it with more effectiveness, traffic monitoring, and what kind of management that we can consider for this kind of data analytics. So what are we really looking for? We are looking for a connected city. We are looking for a machine to machine communication. We are looking for a mobile carriers to provide a robust connection. We are looking for an IoT devices with a more sensor effectiveness. We are looking for an LPWM device, that is a low power wide area network. So I think you all must be aware of, we usually take our mobile phones and say there is no network, we are not able to connect with you, because we need to connect each and every place in our country so that we have a good connectivity. Finally, the machine learning algorithms, and the lastly comes a cyber security implementation. So definitely with all this, I would come up with how does the IoT happens. So it's all on the sensors in order to provide the data. The data can be transmitted with the help of the wireless network. There is a cloud that's available that needs to make decisions. And finally, how to access the data and control. So these are the few of the applications that being used, and the sources that's been taken care of was from NIMBLIC. If you can see the sensors that's been available in our industries, the devices, it's coming from CCTV or a drone system, the gateway, it's the gateway technology, what kind of network we are providing, what kind of platform we are available in, whether it's on cloud or Amazon Web Services, or the database, and finally the application that we are looking for. So when we come up with the low power wide area network, it deals with how we can continue with the same network without changing the battery. So this is how a machine to machine communication plays a major role. Finally, I would like you all to please concentrate on this slide, and I would also say if you can take a screenshot of this, because how the device and data, when connected to your device, that is your mobile phones, with the help of the wireless network and the various asset management, we can go ahead with insights, action, and control. Definitely this kind of healthcare, remote monitoring, financial or retail, or the energy with which your device is connected, it can create a lot of data, and that data can be used for uh, you to have a better predictive analytics. So finally, the role of 5G and AI in smart cities is smart streetlights, machine learning, and the direct traffic that we are trying to control. So communicating directly with people and the things how we go ahead, whether a car is approaching a blind spot, whether it's a dead end, we need to reroute, or there is a green for 20 seconds. The car is intending to enter the enter line. So this all is the technology that can be used on your screen when you're driving, or it can be give you a hint on your phone. So these are few of the devices that's been installed. The company is definitely Cisco, which is working on it. So the sensors which is used to detect the air quality, it's been installed in most of the places wherein we can uh, get the data of how the air quality of that place is existing. The CCTV, again from the sources of Cisco, how the video recording is being analyzed to detect the open parking space in the place. Then also there is another tool that's available to manage the trash collection. So this is a launch for the waste control by Cisco, which was launched in 2016. So finally, what we expect in the next 5 years, definitely there is a lot of potential, and what we are really looking on for the mobile network, the device makeups, the developers and integrity. Smart city can be regional and at times it can be central also. Most integrated intelligent over time, it's a continual balance of OT and IT, that is the operation technology and information technology. The government takes a lead in it initially, because without the help of the government, it's not valid to use this kind of technology. The security system, and finally with this new technology, we need to educate, we need to train the people so that they can use this kind of technology. So uh, by the time I come to conclude my slides, we are going to engage this IoT in all the use cases. We are going to ensure a formal and informal kind of communication, the business analytics and the AI, which plays a major role in deployment and upgrade. So with this, I would like to thanks everyone for listening to my talk. Thank you so much. Indian Society of Heating, Refrigerating and Air Conditioning Engineers, that's the ISHRE, as being a member for 5 years. So I've got this opportunity to speak in this platform. Thank you.
Nisha madam.
So does anyone have any questions which I can help them to solve, if possible, on smart cities and building technologies? Anyone?
We had requested the members to actually send in the questions in the chat box. And as of now, we don't find any. Right at the beginning of the session, we did. Request once again, if there are any, no access to unmute. This is from Deepa ma'am. Okay, so let me do that first. Okay. Yes, Deepa is now unmuted. Yes. Okay. Fine.
Thanks, Vinod sir. Good evening, all.
Welcome.
Sorry, I just joined a bit late.
No.
Jyoti, it was a wonderful session, and I'm just looking for any questions being posted in the chat box. Any questions? Kindly, we can just ask Ms. Jyoti.
A brief introduction about Deepa. She is our zonal chair, Women at ISHRE.
National Vice Chair.
From Bangalore. Sorry.
National Vice Chair.
Sorry, I
Thank you,
beg your
Vinod sir.
pardon. National Vice Chair, yes.
Very nice to see such young members in our group.
Yeah, we
Vinod
have.
Jyoti, very nice to have you in this session. Yesterday evening, Vinod sir had sent me a PPT and it was really interesting. Sorry that I couldn't join early. I'm again requesting our participants, any questions, kindly post it to, kindly you can put it in the chat box. Okay, there is one question from Mark Ravi Kumar. The kind of, I'll just read out the question for Jyoti. The kind of infrastructure or cost required to develop smart cities are huge. is that government are interested to invest on this? Any survey is made on this?
Right. So I hope you're aware about the smart city launch for India, specifically that at least our Modi government has planned. It was launched in 2017. We were there to come up with 100 smart cities, and then there was a lot of project documents they were going on. So definitely, as you rightly said, smart city is a very huge topic, and without the support of government, nothing is possible. So there is a particular of investment being seen from the government, but not only in India, even for the other countries, how the countries supporting them centrally, that's important. Because end of the day, if you notice what is smart city, it's about how the roads are widened, how the security is being done, which is also considered in the growth of any city. So if a city is made with a technology friendly place, it's become a smart city. So it's not that we are doing a new city altogether, we are just enhancing the same city with technology. I hope I'm clear, Mr. Mark Ravi. If you have any other question, please feel free to connect back.
Okay,
Uh,
looks like we do not have
yeah.
any further
Am I
questions.
audible now? I think I'm been on mute again periodically. Okay, fine. Any other questions from the participants, attendees? We can check with Ms. Jyoti.
We have a very good amount of audience with us, so I'm very pleased to see so many people.
Yeah, we've got one more question from Mr. Mahendran. His question is any smart city successfully completed with the provided and mentioned technologies?
Yes, but it's completed in around the country, not in India specifically. So first we have Seoul. So it's in South Korea. Second is Singapore. Then comes the New York and London and Washington and various other places. So yes, the smart city, and it's not completed altogether. It is in progress and it's happening. It's keep updating themselves with the new technologies.
Okay. Looks like those were the few questions we've had. Any further questions, I would request our participants to please feel free to write in to any of our Gmail or the ISRE Gmail ID, and we will have it sent to Miss Jyoti, and maybe she can answer it for us. So on behalf of ISRE and Women at ISRE, Miss Jyoti, thank you so much for taking the time out this evening, for being here and doing this session with us. It was truly interesting. And many thanks again, and we look forward to having you again.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Deepa and Mr.
Thanks a lot, Jyoti. And it was really very good coverage, interesting content coverage on challenges on data strategies and security regarding these cloud servers, air quality sensor detections, trash management. Really a very good presentation. Thanks a lot. We are privileged to have you in our IBC team. Thanks a lot, Jyoti. Thank you. We'll
Thank
stay
you.
connected with you.
I would like to give a special thanks to Mr. Girish and Mr. Pukraj. Thank you so much, because I think they helped me throughout my journey and when I was coordinating with them. So a special thanks to them. I think they represent ISRE, and I'm very happy that they are on board. Thank you so much.
Welcome, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for all the participants for attending this session. Thanks a lot. Let's stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.